Welcome to the Resquared Mortgage channel. Appreciate you being here. Today we're going to be talking about moving to the Central Valley and some tips and tricks about moving. So you're going to want to stick around and watch this video if you're moving to the Central Valley. Also, you're going to want to watch till the very end because we've got a very important tip when moving that you're going to want to see. So if you're new to the channel, click the subscribe button, tap the bell to be the first to know all things there are about Central Valley, Bay Area. My name is Rob. This is Lone Lady Liz. We are the owners of Resquared Mortgage, and we are here to help you in financing your dream home or with a refinance. So we do get calls and text messages from people just like you every single day that are looking to make a move or are needing help with a refinance. So if you are looking for a move and need help with financing in the next 9 to 90 days, give us a call. Reach out. We're happy to help. We can also connect you with a fantastic realtor that can help represent you. So let's get into this, Liz.
I think if you're making a move to the Central Valley, it's important to know, especially like if you're moving out of state and you don't really know the area very well. I think that it kind of offers two things. It's more affordable than the Bay Area.
Absolutely. And I think that is when somebody's moving here, they may not realize like, hey, I got this great job offer. I'm maybe making significantly more money. But what you're going to want to be careful of is and know when you're moving out here, like the homes that might be close to your office, they might be $1.5 million plus to get into that home.
Like all that extra money you're getting from your new salary is going to go towards housing.
Yeah, and that's the appeal to the Central Valley for many, many people, right? Is it's much more affordable than many of the homes over in the Bay Area.
Yeah, I think it's more affordable, and then I also think that it is centrally located to these big cities. So, and there are public transportation options to get to these places. I'm not saying there's not going to be a commute. If you're going to move out here, I would come and stay the night in a hotel at a couple of the cities you're looking to move from and commute into your office. I think that would be really good advice to do, but I do think it's centrally located to a lot of things. Sometimes kids think, oh, there's nothing to do here, which is not true in some places. Mountain House doesn't have a lot of things to do, but Modesto has a lot more things to do. Manteca has a lot of things to do. So we are very centrally located to the Golden State Warriors or the Kings games, or if you want to go to a Giants game or hockey in San Jose. So there's a lot of things like that. Modesto has the Apollo Event Center, Gallo Event Center for plays and concerts.
San Francisco has the San Francisco Ballet. San Jose's got a place for...
We've gone to like Broadway shows in San Francisco. Also, we've seen the Lion King in San Jose. So those things are not far. So you can still live in a affordable area and not be too far out. Now, there are a few things that I would suggest doing if you're going to move, if you want to go through that list. I have 6 things. The first one is to check with moving companies. Like really do your research, see if you can find a good moving company. I think it's hard to find sometimes.
Yeah, you're definitely going to want to find a reputable company and do your homework. I will say we did just recently have a friend that did do her homework, and it still was a nightmare experience.
Yeah. She ended up not doing it, so she had to hurry and order pods. And
it was just a terrible experience. So the more referrals you can find and get, and the more homework you can do on a moving company, you just gonna want to be careful because there are shoddy. I mean, we also had another friend that was moving from like Oregon to Arizona that at the last minute, they're like, oh, by the way, it's going to be $10,000 more than what we quoted you.
Right. Like, what?
So, I mean, you definitely want to do your homework.
It's crazy. Yeah. Before you pack everything up to move.
And I would say that's going to be with anywhere, not just moving to California, moving out of California.
Right, yeah.
That's just
moving advice.
I think that's moving companies and kind of the reputation that they have.
Before you pack up to move, you're going to want to put aside 7 days worth of stuff that you're going to wear and live with. And because be prepared, everything's going to be packed up. Like, you're probably not going to make cookies right before you move, right? Like, just everything's going to be packed. Pack a suitcase with 7 days worth of clothes, so that you just have, in a suitcase, so you're ready. All right. So number 2, if you're moving to the Valley, I would suggest, if you can have any control over it, is that you don't move here from June to September, or at least know that it's so hot.
It can get really hot. I mean, it can get into the hundreds. 110 is pretty high.
Yeah, but it's been that for the past few days.
No, it hasn't been that hot. It's been about 103, 105.
It's just really hot.
But it can get really hot.
And it's miserable when you're having to move stuff in, and the doors are all open to the house, so you can crank the AC, but it's all going out the doors because the doors are open because you're moving in. So I think just, if you're going to move in the summer, then just be prepared for that.
You just know that it's going to be hot.
Yeah, but if you can avoid it, then avoid it. Number 3, if you're going to make a move, is you need to look at your numbers. Wherever you're going, can you buy a house, or what's the rent going to look like? I think a lot of times there's sticker shock on, like, how much is that house for rent? Like, if you're moving from a place in the Midwest to the Bay Area or Central Valley, like, rent is expensive here. It's expensive to live here. So figure out, like, if you can buy a house, figure out what your numbers are. Talk to a local lender in that market. So, like, we're licensed in California. I can help in the whole entire state. I think that it helps to work with a local lender in that state because there might be extra rules or tax things that you should know. So I think know your numbers and figure out if it makes sense. I helped a client recently who wanted to move to Utah. We got him pre-approved to buy to Utah, sell his house here. And ultimately, the job in Utah couldn't qualify to buy the house he needed to fit his family. So that really helped him just make the decision. So make sure you know your numbers. Number 4, you're going to want to work with a really good real estate agent, somebody that's, especially if you're out of state and you can't make it to the showings, somebody that's going to take their camera or their phone camera and send you videos of the house, like really represent that transition well.
And I think it's important to know, like, if you're planning on moving to a particular area, you're going to want a real estate agent that is an expert in that area, that knows the area well and can represent you to the best of what is in your best interest.
Yeah. So if you need help finding a real estate agent, we are connected with agents all over the state and teams. So if you need somebody who is going to work hard for you, we are happy to give you a referral for that and make a connection there. Definitely. Okay. Number 5, make sure that your mail is forwarded to your new place. When you buy a house, you get to skip 1 month of house payment. So you could time it where your rent payment and your house payment aren't going to happen at the same month. So that could be super happy. Let your doctors know that you're moving, that to expect to get transfer of information, calls in, set up the utilities. If you know the day that you're going to close, which you're not going to know until your loan goes clear to close, what a more specific day is. But once you know that, you could set up furniture delivery, or if you're getting new appliances, you have a cleaning person coming in, like set up all of those appointments so that they're ready when you come, then your house is ready to move into. Okay, and the last thing you should do before you move, number 6, is check all of the cabinets, all of the closets, all of the things. Make sure you took everything. We've moved into a couple houses where it was homes that people lived in before we did, and the stuff we found, like, I won't even tell you, but they were things that were like tucked really high up in the closet, that we just threw away because I think they would have been embarrassed if we were like, hey,
you want this back?
So just make sure you have everything, and have the cleaning people set up to clean your place once you leave, so that you either get your deposit back or the house is ready for the new people. And remember to, like, have even if you're moving into a new home, having just everything set up for like the cleaning people to be on the other side so that you can move into a clean house.
And I think you made a good suggestion earlier, just when we were talking offline, about if you're moving into a home that's been lived in, not a new build, open up the cabinets, have it empty, and be specific on what you want them to clean. So if you want them to clean inside and wipe out and clean the kitchen cabinets, make sure that you let them know that that is an expectation. If they've got
because I think normally they wouldn't know to do that.
Yeah, if they got window treatments, you might want the window treatments cleaned. Again, be specific and let them know that that is one of your expectations. Right. There might be a cost for doing that. I'm sure that there is, but if that's what you want done, you're just going to have to let them know and be very, very specific.
Right. Okay, so this is the last thing that you need to do, or this is the wait till the end thing, is I highly, highly, highly suggest when you move into your new house, one of the first things you're going to want to do is change all of the locks. And you're maybe wondering why, but think like, who has a key to your house? Maybe the sellers gave all of the keys that they had, they left them for you, but like, does the neighbor have a key because they used to take care of the dog when the people were gone? Does somebody's grandparents or their maybe adult children have moved out but they happen to have a key? Like, there's a lot of people, maybe there's a key hidden underneath a rock somewhere. Like, there's a lot of people that could have a key to your house. You're going to want to change that. And the cool thing is, if you've got a home warranty with your purchase, that home warranty company typically, double check, as one of their services, they will change locks. So usually they maybe change 5 to 7, so you'll want to double check. You'll have to pay extra for the additional ones, but that'll be part of something that you've already paid for. So make sure to check with the home warranty company to double check. But even if you don't have a home warranty company, you should definitely change your locks.
Yeah, no, I think that's super good advice. We did that in our new home, and like Liz was saying, like, I mean, I got a key to my sister's house. I had a key to a friend's house that they're a little bit elderly, and the wife was concerned about, if she wasn't home and something happened to the husband and the doors were locked. She gave keys out to a couple different people, a couple different friends that could access the home if need be. I mean, my parents, I've got a key to that house. So certainly people have keys that aren't the homeowner. So you're definitely good advice in wanting to change out the locks on all the doors.
Yeah, definitely. So awesome. Well, that's it. Good luck on your move to California. It's a great place.
Yeah, we love it here. There's a lot of things to do. We didn't really get into that, but we are close to a lot of things and a lot of activities that you might want to do with your family. So appreciate you being here. Appreciate you being to the end. Again, my name is Rob. This is Lone Lady Liz. We are the owners of Rescored Mortgage. So until next time, if you need help in the meantime, please reach out. Give us a call, shoot us a text, book a Zoom meeting. We can help you with all things loans when it comes to a house. So hit us up. And like Liz was saying, if you do need some representation, we know some fantastic realtors that can help represent you in your home purchase. So thanks.
Mm-hmm.